My name is Nancy, and I'm here to share a terrifying story about the man I once loved, Jake. I never thought I'd have to share such a chilling tale, but it serves as a warning to everyone about the dangers lurking in unexpected corners of life. Jake was always the sweetest guy. He was kind-hearted, attentive, and funny. He had a way of making every day feel like a special occasion. We shared an apartment in the heart of the city, and life with him seemed like a dream come true until that night. I remember that evening vividly. Jake had come home from work, looking more exhausted than usual. He had been having some trouble at work recently, and the stress was beginning to take its toll. To help him cope, his friend had given him a pill, something to calm his nerves and help him sleep. I was skeptical, but Jake was convinced it would help. That night, he took the pill before bed. I lay beside him, listening as his breathing became slow and regular, signaling he had fallen asleep. Feeling relieved, I drifted off as well. Suddenly, I was startled awake by a strange noise. It was a low growl, a sound that sent shivers down my spine. It was coming from Jake. I turned on the bedside lamp, and what I saw chilled me to the bone. Jake's eyes were wide open, but they weren't the warm, gentle eyes I knew. They were filled with a sinister glint that I had never seen before. His face was distorted into a terrifying grimace, and he was staring at me with an intensity that made my blood run cold. I tried to wake him up, but he didn't respond. Instead, he began to growl louder, and his hands reached out to grab me. His grip was strong, and his fingers dug into my arms. I screamed, wriggling out of his grasp and running towards the door. As I dashed out of the room, I could hear Jake's growls echoing behind me. I locked myself in the bathroom, my heart pounding in my chest. I felt a wave of terror washing over me. This wasn't the Jake I knew and loved. I called 911, my voice shaking as I explained the situation. The operator assured me help was on the way, but the waiting was agonizing. I could hear Jake's growls and the sound of him banging against the bathroom door. It felt like a nightmare. The police arrived and managed to subdue Jake. He was taken to the hospital where they discovered that the pill he had taken had some unknown substances in it, causing him to react in such a horrifying way. Jake didn't remember anything from that night. He was horrified and heartbroken when he found out what he had done. I moved out of our shared apartment and spent a long time healing both physically and emotionally. It was a terrifying experience, one that changed both our lives forever. It taught me the importance of being cautious about what we put into our bodies and reminded me that even the most mundane things can turn into nightmares. So here I am, sharing my story, hoping that it might prevent someone else from experiencing the same horror. Be careful, trust your instincts, and remember that not everything that glitters is gold.